What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Vinny D for your weekly PlayStation Call of Duty Leaderboards update. For anybody new here, what you're about to see is the top 100 players Call of Duty Leaderboards PlayStation without boosters or cheaters. This is what a true leaderboard should look like. The stats are extracted every Sunday night and uploaded to the website every Monday morning, and videos are released on Thursday recapping the week. For the guys who have been here before, you know what it's all about. There's a website now, CODauthority.com. As of last week, you could go and check out your own stats and roll back 2 months and see how your weekly progress is going. 3 things I want to talk about before we jump into the weekly recap. First things first is a couple of guys have reached out since the website's been launched and mentioned that they'd like to see the level next to the name. Right now, this is not going to be possible. It's 2018. A lot of you guys are checking the site out on your mobile phones, flipping it horizontally. Not everybody's rocking a 6-inch screen, so it's very hard to have a leaderboard or any type of standings format look good on a phone. I didn't want you guys scrolling left and right too much, and an added column would actually squeeze that out. I am going to be adding something here in the next couple of months. You guys that have YouTube channels are going to like it. I don't want to leak everything out too quickly. And besides that, then again, everybody's going to be level 1000 sooner or later, so that's out of the question. Number 2, I wanted to assess the score problem going on. K3 started flexing again on Friday, pushing big numbers, and realized that his numbers weren't updating. As of Sunday afternoon, a couple other guys had reached out to me and mentioned that, you know, their stats weren't updating or were flaky. Right now it's currently Wednesday morning. I need to get the video out. I thought maybe with the DLC things would have been updated. Currently it's still flaky, so the show must go on, guys. However, if you think about it, you will be able to see if those stats will be reinstated to your account by looking over your weekly stats. Next Sunday you could go and take a look, and if you see that the numbers are higher, then you know that those stats have been added to your account. Again, it's 1 week. I know a lot of you guys have YouTube channels. You need to put it on your poker faces when you're live streaming to make the audience, you know, not know that it's burning you guys inside, because leaderboards are in your DNA. But again, it's 1 week, and that it's not the end of the world. Third topic is last week I did mention SPM and points are becoming very crucial on the PlayStation side of things. You need to work your SPMs and your scores. Couple of guys with lower SPMs did reach out thinking that, you know, they need to change their game modes. They need to work their SPMs that way. Guys, tread lightly about that. That's not always the case. You know, work points before working your game modes. That could actually backfire on you for you to become accustomed to a new game mode. There's 2 things that could help you with that. Number 1 is finding lobbies. Be patient about it. You know, find a weak lobby. Nobody's going to pin a Medal of Honor on you if you played against Sweats all weekend, racked up 1,000,000 points. Play the points. Number 2, I know it's great to play with friends, play with parties, but you need to limit that. You need to find, you know, you need to roll solo, and unfortunately you need to be the pig of the barn. You need to be basically, you know, hog up all the kills, grab as much as you can, and work your numbers that way. So there's a lot of other ways before jumping into changing game modes for you lower score SPMs to rack up points. Play your points. Don't worry about, you know, your SPM that much. It's going to be very hard to climb to the top 15 if your SPM is, you know, between 300 and 400 at this point. So let's jump into the top 100 and recap the week. As you can see, I updated the previous week, January 15th to the 21st. We're going into week 7 right now. 8 weeks up on here. You could go back and take a look at everything. As we had mentioned last week, it was only a matter of time. El Diablo has taken over the first position, keeps putting in 4 days every week. His goal is to hit a level of 1000. Will it slow it down or not? You know, we'll find out when that's to be done, but obviously putting in 820 games a week is going to do that to you. Hami still consistent at a day in 16 hours, locking in at number 2. Not much change here going on. When Chilla would pass DooMTheRace, there's just no time put on his account anymore, so that was clear cut. And the rest of the top 10, there's not much shuffling around. Forever Shredded holding ground. The New Era moving up 2 spots. Mr. Consistent over here, OnlineBully at 7. And, you know, not much change. One thing that I really like to see, because I like to see competition, I like the competitive side of it, is that you look at the top 20, everybody here has been here for 7 weeks since we've launched this thing. So that's going on 2 months right now. It's actually 8 weeks if we roll back. So that's good. That's good to see. That means that, sure, there's guys that come and go, but everybody's holding their ground, and that's you know, that's what the fight's about. The top 20 at least. So cool to see that. I just wanted to give a little shout out over here to New Era. You know, rank 6, lower SPM for guys in the top 20, but you know, guy's a machine. Smashes the game every week. Another 2 days and 23 hours played. So keep up the good work. I know it's harder for the guys with lower SPMs, but you know, you were smart, you got into the hunt early on, and now it's about holding ground and just, you know, pushing for it. So at number 20, another name to keep an eye on over here, Chamney 514. Why I say it, elite SPM here at 584. Has his up and down weeks with time played. Again, everybody's got their own schedule. Some guys could play more than others, but somebody to watch out. Jumped 6 spots this week with a day and 11 hours played. So that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, with the the DLC goodies being dropped, I'm expecting guys to put up huge days played this week. So this is going to be interesting to see come Sunday what these numbers look like once the week's said and done. From 20 to 40, I mean, still very consistent, no dramatic changes really. It's more of the range with guys that are sub 400 SPM but put in a lot of time played. This is where you'll find the numbers. Then you have your guys with a little bit of a higher SPM that are pretty consistent and they average out every week. So you could clearly see here guys like at number 23, Armin, you know, sub 300, however, puts in huge amount of time, still moving up. Hunt to Go at 27, same concept, you know, 300 SPM. Squall Tech at 32, 309, and then you have Toru at 36, you know, 351. It's good to see. I mean, it's good to see that it keeps guys motivated that are below you to say, hey, you know, my SPM is not quite 400 or in the 500 plus range, which is rare. However, if I put in the time and I'm consistent, you know, you will climb. And here's the proof. I mean, you know, 36 9-slot jump, you know, 8-slot jump. Things look good on that sense of it. From 20 to 40, it's a little bit harder to move up, but if your SPMs are lower, but it's still doable. 40 to 60. Guys, this is where you see the new names come into the board. You know, as I explained to you guys in the tutorial video, week on board WOB is how many weeks you've been on the board consecutively without dropping out. So now you'll start seeing some 3 and 4s in here, where before you would just see 7s. You know, guys locking in and not going anywhere. So it's the SPMs are kind of a mixed bag still. Some of the higher SPMs. And some of the lower SPMs, it really comes down to the grind. It's, you know, it changes from week in and week out, but this is where I kind of noticed that the scores were a little bit messed up with some of you guys. You know, if you look here from 53 downwards, I mean, there is a downtrend, and that's because of, you know, Zania over here, Mariah, Angel Sanchez, K3. The time hasn't been there this week, and now whether it's because of the score problem or not, or just their game time played, it's again to be seen, but these are big names with big SPMs, so I expect things to bounce back and even out over the long run. You know, 60 to 80, we're still seeing a downhill trend from the top guys that were here on the boards for many weeks. As you can see here, you know, if you look at Blood Mask over here at 7, you know, he's 7 weeks on board, dropped 15 spots, 2 hours played. Same thing, General 503, Grand Jeep, the JTF Race. These are common household names that have been on the board for, you know, 7 weeks. Again, this could, you know, just be an off week. It could just be that, you know, you're changing games. You can't stay somewhere forever, so there is always a spot to open up, and that's why I did these boards, is because the grind is there. If the grind is there, the spot will open up for you. That's what it comes down to. Another shout out I want to give out to some guys to keep motivation for the guys with lower SPMs, guys with sub 300 SPMs, Benihana, Dusty Mint, Warrior Irish over here, and John Henry. So you guys are like, you know, sub 300 to be in the top 100. Sub 300 to be in the top 100. It's very impressive, guys. I salute you. I tip my hats to you guys. Yes, you do have to put in the grind, but once you crack into the top 100, it keeps you motivated and wanting to push forward. So props to you guys. For anybody who's you know, around those numbers, just take it from these guys and look what they're doing. You know, anything's possible at this point for the from 50 to 100. 80 to 100 is where the new players jump in for the week. As you can see here, this week we had 8 new players jump in the top 100. You'll see that by the number 1 on week on board and the blue arrow over here. So congratulations to you guys. This is where, again, the 7s have pretty much stopped playing. The guys that have been on board for 7 weeks, you know, they're dipping out, and here's where you see the 0 time played. 17 hours played. This is where they're going to fizzle out and you guys were going to come in. Again, I just want to mention that if you have a lower SPM, you can climb the boards, guys. I mean, the proof is there. We just looked over some guys that are, even under 300 that continue to climb. You just need to be realistic on what your goals are. And that's, getting into the top 20 at this point or the top 15, it's just out of reach. So work your way, work your way on who's above you. And I've mentioned that in previous videos. Break this down by rows of 15. See who's ahead of you, what they're doing, and what you need to do to catch them. That's how you set yourself goals and you stay motivated and you target what's above you. So I'm expecting a big week, like I said, with the DLC goodies coming out. I'm really anxious to do the next video next Sunday and see exactly who put in the grind and who put in the work and crunch these numbers up for you again. So hopefully the scores will be fixed. Hopefully everybody's going to be, continuing the trend upwards. And, again, we'll take it from there. If there's anything, leave some comments and I'll try to get back to everybody as soon as possible. All right, guys, enjoy the week, enjoy the DLC stuff, and I'll speak soon.